Imagine if your own silly sister stopped you from talking to a girl your entire life. Something similar happens in today's story. The story begins with a 6-year-old boy named Jackson who falls in love with a girl in his class. One day, he brings a marriage certificate to her and asks her to sign it. When the girl refuses, Jackson tries to bribe her with 2 movie tickets, asking her to become his wife. The girl signs the certificate, but going to the movie with another boy instead. Such betrayal. Even 6-year-old girls can be tricky these days. Poor Jackson had 5 big sisters. When Jackson's heart was broken, his 5 elder sisters vowed to protect him from falling into any girl's trap for the rest of his life. 15 years later, Jackson is now 21 years old, but freedom is still a dream for him. Among his 5 sisters, the youngest, Lily, happens to be in his class. Another sister, Violet, is an excellent archer and boxer who uses her skills to keep Jackson in check. The third sister, Haven, was a talented hacker who had hacked Jackson's school security system to keep an eye on him at all times. Then there was Melody, the fourth sister, who worked as a teacher at Jackson's school. Their eldest sister, Sarah, was the most short-tempered and intimidating of them all, and the whole family was afraid of her. Their parents had separated a long time ago, leaving the sisters to look after each other. One day, Jackson decided to find a way to escape. Because he was fed up with his sisters constantly monitoring him, a friend of his created a special suit that allowed Jackson to hide easily. However, by mistake, Jackson ended up in the girls' locker room while testing the suit. Jackson wasn't too worried about getting caught by new girl Ming. His real concern was that his sisters might find out about the incident. On his way home, he was nervous, fearing the school might have informed his sisters. However, when he reached home and no one said anything, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. But during dinner, Melody suddenly asked, "Baby, what were you doing in the girls' locker room?" Before Jackson could respond, all his sisters grabbed him, dragged him to the ground, and hung him upside down. Then followed an intense interrogation. "What were you doing in the girls' locker room? Can't control yourself, huh? You think you've grown up too much now?" They were furious and relentless, determined to teach Jackson a lesson. His sisters had strictly forbidden him from even making eye contact with any girl. Their logic was simple. If Jackson never got close to a girl, there'd be no heartbreak. But that day, for the first time, Jackson talked back. He said, "Why shouldn't I look at a girl? All my friends have girlfriends now. Do you even know how much it hurts to see them happy while I'm stuck like this?" This stunned his sisters, leaving them speechless. Sarah finally said, "If you can find a girl who has all of our qualities, we'll let you have her as your girlfriend. We won't object." Although it seemed like an impossible challenge, but Jackson accepted it. The next day, he walked around with a signboard that read, "Get a boyfriend, get a boyfriend." His friend advised him to talk to the new girl, Ming. She was known for helping those who genuinely needed assistance. However, as Jackson observed her, he realized that while she helped people, she made things more worse. Despite this, Jackson decided to try convincing Ming to be his girlfriend. He went, but he didn't even know how to talk to girls. Then, his friend went to Mayuk. He started praising Jackson a lot. He said that Jackson's sister mistreats him, which makes him very upset, and that only Mayuk could help him. Hearing this, Ming felt pity for him and decided to talk to him. But at the same time, someone spread a rumor that a wild bear attacked the children. Jackson became a hero and started saving everyone. Later, it was revealed that the bear was fake. The fake bear pushed him down the stairs, and he woke up directly in the hospital. When he opened his eyes, Meng was with him, although the bear incident didn't work out as planned. However, Meng still agreed to become his friend. Just then, Jackson's 2 sisters arrived and started scolding him for not taking care of himself. Seeing this, Meng got angry and told them to stop. Jackson's sisters were shocked when Meng claimed to be Jackson's girlfriend. Hearing this, Jackson went crazy with happiness. Later, at home, his sisters asked if he really had a girlfriend. Our Jackson smiled but didn't give them any answer. After all, he don't bother small questions like these. But when Sarah asked him, he had to tell her about Meng. His sisters, not believing him, hung him upside down once again because they couldn't trust that he could have a girlfriend so quickly. "He's moving too fast," they said. Jackson tried to explain to his sisters, "Come on, sisters, this is love at first sight. Our eyes met and just fell in love." But no one believed his silly words. So, his sisters decided to test Meng to see if she was worthy for their brother. The next day, Violet, Lily, and Melendez arrived at school. When Jackson and Meng were together, Violet shot an arrow at Meng, but Jackson stopped it just in time. Meng got angry and started yelling at sisters, but her plans didn't stop there. So Lily came up with another scheme. She paid one of the most charming and good-looking boys at school and told him, "Go, take Meng on a date and get her away from my brother." However, nothing like that happened. In the end, Jackson saved saved Ming from the boys, and the two started running away together. From a distance, Violet saw them and shot an arrow at them. But just then, a bomb appeared out of nowhere. Luckily, no one was hurt, but everyone was left wondering how the explosion happened. At that moment, we see a boy in the chemistry lab working with some chemicals. No one knew his true intentions, but it turned out he was the one who saved Ming from Violet. Later, Jackson and Ming went to the rooftop to eat ice cream. It was then Jackson discovered that Ming was pretending to be his girlfriend because she thought Jackson's sisters wanted to sell his kidneys. Despite knowing this, Jackson didn't reveal the truth to her. Meanwhile, back at home, Lily and Violet admitted they had failed in their plan. That's when Heaven decided to take matters into her own hands. She took different CCTV videos of Ming from school, edited them together, and made it look like she was a terrible person. But before she could upload the video online, the electricity went out. We looked outside and saw the same boy from the chemistry lab near their house. He had cut the power, saving Ming once again. However, no one still knew his true identity or motives. At home, the three sisters decided to escalate the matter and went to their eldest sister, Melody. Now it was her responsibility to get rid of Ming. The next day, Melody challenged Ming to a series of games. First, they competed in a staring contest and then in a fishing competition. Melody won both rounds. Just as the final round was about to start, the eldest sister, Sarah, arrived. She challenged Ming to a hammer throw competition. In this challenge, they had to throw a heavy iron ball as far as possible. Using her incredible strength, Sarah spun the ball in the air with ease. She then picked up another ball, but suddenly, a key fell out of it. It turned out the ball was actually a bomb that could explode at any moment. Ming noticed this just in time and quickly grabbed the ball from Sarah. When the explosion happened, Sarah realized that Ming had saved her life. She started liking Ming, and the rest of the sisters also began to trust her completely. Seeing this, Jackson was overjoyed. After that, Jackson and Ming began spending a lot of time together. They went on trips to various places, and soon, their fake love turned into real love. They got to know each other deeply and fell even more in love. One evening, they went to an empty beach and spent the entire night together. At sunrise, they hugged each other for the first time. However, the whole time, someone was watching them. It was the same boy from the chemistry lab. Seeing them together made his blood boil. The next day at school, when Lily opened her lunchbox, there was a bomb inside. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the entire school. Jackson was unharmed, but Lily was severely injured. When Ming saw Jackson and his sisters hugging each other, she realized how much love they shared as a family. Feeling out of place, she walked away. Jackson was completely confused. Ming had started thinking that ever since she came into Jackson's life, troubles for him and his sisters had only increased. She began to believe that she wasn't good for Jackson, so she decided to stay away from him. Jackson tried hard to talk to her, but it was no use. One night, it was raining heavily outside. Jackson saw on the news that the streets were flooded. He suddenly remembered that Ming had stayed at school, waiting for the rain to stop. He quickly rushed to the school and found her standing in the rain, completely drenched. Jackson hugged her and said, "Why can't you just be the way you were before? What's the problem?" But Ming pushed him away. That's when Jackson realized Ming was leaving school. She told him that it would be better for both of them to stay away from each other until she left. She believed it was for his own good. Poor Jackson's heart broke, and he spent the entire night out in the rain, feeling devastated. The next day, he heard footsteps approaching and thought it was Ming. He rushed to hug her, but it wasn't Ming. It was the same boy who had been making bombs. Taking advantage of the moment, he kidnapped Jackson. Meanwhile, at school, there was a party and everyone was having fun, but Mayunk sat alone, feeling sad. Jackson's sisters were also worried because Jackson had been missing since the previous day. They decided to search for him and tried everything they could. Eventually, they found out that his phone was nearby. Just then, a man wearing a mask appeared on stage. He revealed that he had kidnapped Jackson and locked him inside a rocket. When everyone asked why he hated Jackson so much, the masked man explained that no one ever noticed him, and he didn't have any friends. He had fallen in love with Ming at first sight, and it was he who saved Ming from Jackson's sisters. But despite all that, Ming chose Jackson over him. That's why he wanted revenge, because Jackson had taken Ming away from him. He pressed the button to launch the rocket. Jackson's sisters, Ming, and their friends desperately tried to hold on to him, but for just a few moments, they were able to stop the rocket. Before it took off, Jackson declared his love for Ming in front of everyone. Finally, the rocket soared into the sky, and Jackson was presumed dead in the explosion. Later, Ming visited his grave, and as she laid flowers there, something surprising happened. Jackson suddenly jumped. It turned out he had survived the explosion. Grave is of Mag Mom, but only his hand was broken. Afterward, Jackson's sisters arrived and started teasing him again, just like before. "How much do you love your siblings?" they asked. Well, if you've read this far, go ahead and share your thoughts in one line in the comments.